Welcome to the session learners. Today we are going to learn what dark web is. Let's move ahead. Some of you people may know what the dark web is, but let us try to understand it from the root. The term dark web is used for websites that are not accessible by any common or any standard web surfing techniques. To understand what darknet is, you need to know about the deep web first. The deep web is an extensive portion on the internet which is not indexed, and hence it is not fully accessible even by searching through standard web browsers such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, etc. On the other hand, darknet is a more defined path at depth which consists of encrypted websites. Probably web browsers such as Google Chrome, Bing, Safari can't access darknet websites. To visit on these websites, you need to have specialized web browsers such as Tor. The website masks the user's IP address and protects from being trapped or traced or being identified. Cyber criminals do this masking of IP address to avoid identification of their theft. Access to these darknet websites are hidden from regular people and are accessible to the visitors only by using encrypted web browsers. Darknet is most of the time known as heaven for the cyber criminals. The truth about darknet is that it offers extensive protection and privacy from government authoritarian trackers. It also provides extensive stuff for cyber criminals such as user traffic, child pornography, stolen user IDs, passwords, etc. These criminals use untraceable cryptocurrency for payment purpose, which is why it is required to take measures to avoid falling prey to such criminal activities. Are you guys aware of data breaches? And the worst thing about data breach is that a huge amount of confidential data is leaked on the dark web, where anyone can access or buy it and use it further. It is a common attack where victim's location can be traced using his or her phone number and keep a track of their activities, also using transaction details such as credit card or debit card details. Except this data breach, there have been different breaches as well as on the dark web in the massive number of user details such as Facebook scandal. Deep web monitoring tools monitors, serves or sell information to the person who is looking for data of certain user or organization. This data is accessible via the hidden websites that require special browser. It searches for data and keeps track of personal information which is not accessible by normal means. Dark web crawling helps track your leaked information and also helps keep your identity hidden and safe. So till now we were discussing various kinds of browsers which we can use to access the dark web. Now let us understand the Tor browser and its importance, why it is called the gateway to the safe haven of dark magic. Tor is a browser service free to all. It is based on the technology of US Naval Research Labs in 1990. It was first used to protect the identities of US intelligence agencies who operated online. This suggests the reliability as well as the robustness of the platform. Back in the 90s, the lack of security on the internet and its ability to be used for tracking and surveillance was becoming clear, and in 95, David, Mike, Paul at the US Naval Research Lab asked themselves if there was a way to create internet connections that don't reveal who is talking to whom, even to someone who is monitoring the network. Their answer was to create and deploy the first research engine or prototype of onion routing. Tor project was first launched in 2002. This project saw extensive research and development for around 2 years from the software and cyber security experts, the best of the best that could come, churning no less than a magic potion for the online anonymity. From its inception in the 90s, onion routing was conceived to rely on as a decentralized network. The network needed to operate by entities with diverse interests and trust assumptions, and the software needed to be free and open to maximize transparency and deserialization. That is why in October 2002, when the Tor network was initially deployed, its code was released under a free and open source software license. By the end of 2003, the network had about a dozen of volunteer nodes, mostly in the US plus one in the Germany. The Tor project was first launched for the public through release in 2004. The continuous development saw the further deployment of the project to launch Tor Inc. in 2006. This converted Tor into a non-profit organization. Tor began gaining popularity among activists and tech-savvy users interested in privacy, but it was still difficult for less technically savvy people to use it. So in 2005, development of tools beyond just Tor proxy began. Development of Tor browser began in 2008 for the general public. With Tor browser having made Tor more accessible to everyday internet users, the activist Tor was an instrumental tool in the Arab Spring beginning in late 2010. It not only protected people's identity online, but also allowed them to access critical resources, government social media files and websites which were blocked. The need for tools safeguarding these mass surveillances became a mainstream concern thanks to Snowden revelations in 2013. Not only was Tor instrumental in Snowden's whistleblowing, but content of the documents also upheld assurances that at that time Tor could not be cracked. People's awareness of tracking, surveillance and censorship may have increased, but so has the prevalence of these hindrances to internet freedom. Today, the network has thousands of relays run by volunteers and millions of users worldwide just like us. And it is this diversity that keeps Tor users safe. Now let us understand how Tor actually works in a little detail. Tor provides two levels of anonymity. One, anonymous access to surface websites, wherein the Tor exit nodes connect to the surface website. Tor exit nodes are nothing but gateways where encrypted Tor traffic hits the internet. This leaves the exit node vulnerable to monitor the Tor traffic. It is in the design of Tor network to make the location of the source of network traffic unidentifiable. However, if the exit traffic is unencrypted and contains the identifying information, an exit node is abused. Therefore, Tor is dependent on a wide range of exit nodes that are periodically changed to make the entire information transaction safe and secure. Once the Tor service is started, the Tor client on the local device obtains a list of available Tor nodes from the directory server. The Tor client takes a random path through the selected Tor nodes in which the information is encrypted. The algorithm, after hopping certain number of Tor nodes, gets connected to the exit node and continues the journey. Direct access to the Tor network may sometimes be blocked by an internet service provider or by the government. Tor browser includes some circumvention tools for getting around these blocks. These tools are called pluggable transports. There are three different transports: OBFS 4, Snowflake or Meek Azure. The most pluggable transports such as OBFS 4 rely on the use of bridge relays. Like ordinary Tor relays, bridges are run by volunteers unlike ordinary relays. However, they are not listed publicly, so an adversary cannot identify them easily. Using bridges in combination with pluggable transport helps to conceal the fact that you are using Tor, but may slow down the connection compared to using ordinary Tor relays. Other pluggable transports like Meek use different anti-censorship techniques that do not rely on bridges. When connecting to a website, it is not only the operator of that website who can record information about your visit. Most websites use numerous third-party services including social networking, like buttons, analytics, trackers and advertising beacons, all of which can link your activity across different sites. Using the Tor network stops observers from being able to discover your exact location and IP address, but even without this information, they might be able to link different areas of your activities together. For this, Tor browsers include some additional features that help you control what information can be tied to your identity. Tor browser centers your web experience around your relationship with the website in the URL bar. Even if you connect to two different sites that use the same third-party tracking services, Tor browser will force the content to be served over to different Tor circuits. So the tracker will not know both the connections originated from your browser. On the other hand, all connections to a single website address will be made over the same Tor circuit, meaning you can browse different pages of a single website in a separate tabs of windows without losing your functionality. If personal information such as login password travels unencrypted over the internet, it can very easily be intercepted by an eavesdropper. If you are logging into any website, you should make sure that the site offers HTTPS encryption, which I will be telling about in detail, which protects against the kinds of eavesdropping. By default, Tor browser protects your security by encrypting your browsing data. You can further increase your security by choosing the disable certain web features that can be used to compromise your security and anonymity. Onion services, formerly known as hidden services, are the services just like websites that are only accessible through Tor network. Onion services offer several advantages over ordinary services on the non-private web. Onion services location and IP address are hidden, making it difficult for adversaries to censor them or identify their operators. All the traffic between Tor user and Onion services is end-to-end encrypted, so you do not know what you are going to connect over. And also this is a HTTPS connection, so you don't need to worry about the confidentiality. The address of an Onion service is automatically generated, so the operator do not need to purchase a domain name. The .onion URL also helps Tor ensure that it is connecting to the right location and that connection is not being tampered with. As we all now understood how Tor works, we can now appreciate the importance of anonymity online. But have you imagined if you could have not just a browser but an entire operating system to be anonymous? Added to all the existing benefits, it is also amnesic, that is, you cannot even remember even if your user activity is able to log in or not. The answer to it is Tails operating system. Interesting nomenclature, is it? Tails is a portable operating system that protects against surveillance and censorship. Tails includes a selection of applications to work on sensitive documents and communication seriously. Tails is a portable operating system that protects against surveillance and censorship. Tails includes a selection of applications to work on sensitive documents and communicate securely. Everything in Tails is ready to use and has safe defaults. Tails always starts from the same clean state and everything you do disappears automatically when you shut down Tails. Interesting, isn't it? Without Tails, almost everything you do can leave traces on the computer. Websites you have visited even in private mode, files that you have opened even if you delete them, passwords even if you use a password manager, all the devices and Wi-Fi networks that you used, all could be tracked but not on Tails. On the contrary, Tails never writes anything to the hard disk and only runs from the memory of the computer. The memory is entirely deleted when you shut down Tails, erasing all possible traces. Everything you do on the internet from Tails goes through the Tor network. Tor encrypts and anonymizes your connection by passing it through 3 relays. Relays are servers operated by different people and organizations around the world. A single relay will never know both where the other 2 relays are connected and where the encrypted connection is coming from and where it is going to. The first relay only knows where you are coming from but not where you are going to. The third relay only knows where you are going to but not where you are coming from. The connection to the final destination is encrypted whenever possible to prevent the third relay from reading its content. Everything you do on the internet from Tails goes through Tor network. Tor and Tails don't protect you by making you look like any random internet user, but by making all Tor and Tails user look the same. It becomes impossible to know who is who among them. Your internet service provider and local network can see that you are connected to the Tor network. They still cannot know what sites you visit. To hide that you connect to Tor, you can also use a Tor bridge. The sites that you visit can know that you are using Tor because the list of exit nodes on Tor network are public. From this, I hope you have understood how the Tor network and Tails operating system work. These are very important instruments while connecting to the dark and deep web. The deep web is nothing but a part of the www whose contents banking are not indexed by standard web search engine. With this, we now come to an end to our current topic, the dark web. I would now like to conclude this topic with a word of caution while surfing the dark web. Stay anonymous, stay safe. See you all in the next session. Thank you.